so that we address these issues effectively. Let me move to the dollar issue raised by Honorable Omar, in which he has said that there are actually a lot of dollars which are being hidden away in the economy, because then our currency is depreciating all the time. Now, I'm just wondering, a lot of these dollars that we get come from the diaspora. Now, I'm effectively informed, and I think rightly so, that right now there are a lot of panya routes through which dollars come in. I mean that panya routes in the sense that people have devised methods where dollars can be repatriated, say, to South Africa, and then the money finds its way to Kenya in some way, so that it evades the banking system. So if it doesn't go through the banking system, then you may not catch up with it. So there are a lot of dollars coming in through the black markets, and because of the way the currency is depreciating, nobody wants to bring them to the open market because they want the rates to go up. Let me make a suggestion of what I think we can do. I think there should be some form of amnesty, just the same way we have done with the income tax. Can we have some amnesty for people to bring in dollars so that they can be received without any penalties? That is one thing I hope the committee can look at. Now, then there was a question on housing levy in terms of the housing plans and how this was initially stopped, and what was intended for offtake then never took off. Allow me to speak like an ordinary citizen in this one. The citizens have lost trust. Now, what happens if every time you speak to someone, they do not keep their word? I think you will not be in a position to trust them the next time they speak. Why I'm saying this is that I keep my ears open a lot of times when people are arguing, my friends on the golf course and all that, and I hear them say, who tells you we'll get these houses? So that lack of trust is making people not to trust the process. It is a very noble idea, and it is supposed to help the citizens. It is supposed to create jobs. It is even supposed to create, all those nice things. But how can we work on improving the trust of the citizens? This is a bit abstract. I don't know how we can even measure the trust, but I'm talking from personal experience because I've been hearing what people are saying on the WhatsApps, on Facebook. Just listen to what the people are saying. They are either completely lost trust or they are losing trust. So that is something we need to look at. Now, which items would we be looking at reducing? Commodities. Supposing we were given by the magic wand and told, pick 3 items that you would like reduced. Here, I would be looking at the food basket of those who are in say the bottom of the pyramid. What are the things that they use? Something to cook with. So that is one area we'll be looking at. I've been looking at the prices of kerosene, the price of makaa, the price of cooking fuel generally is a really sore area because no one can do without it. Then we are looking at sending money. You all know that the cost of sending M-Pesa right now has really gone up. Most of the people who have come to the urban areas who are working in lowly jobs. Probably they are security guards, they are maids, I mean, you call it. They have to send some money home to their parents, to their children, because they can't live with them. Now imagine when we impose and increase excise taxes on sending money, then we are squarely hurting these people. The third thing I would be looking at is VAT on food. And I've looked at all sorts of taxes here. VAT on food. Now, when we introduce VAT on unga, a staple food, then you know the very lowly are going to suffer. So if I had three things to choose, those are the things I would choose. Let me move to Senator Umugeni. I'm sure there will be round two, like we were told. So here we are looking at proposals on allocations to cash transfers. This is pleased to increase the amount. And these people are not many. I think when the last time was over 70s were counted, they were not very many. And they are very, okay, they have less time with us, isn't it? So even if we double this amount to 4,000, I think would really help them, because they are also subject to inflation and they can only buy so little sugar, you know, so little salt. The 2,000 cannot buy anything. And then it is delayed for many, many months. So if there is anything we would do, it is to increase that amount and give it in a more timely manner. There are these low cadre employees earning the 15,000 who are really hardly hit. And the senator asked if there is an ideal wage that I would suggest. I think I would rather give this to the economists. I don't think this will be good for an accountant. As an accountant, I look at reducing costs. But the economists, I think, will chip in on the ideal minimum wage. Reduction of deficit financing, indeed, we know that we are in a cash crunch. But this cash crunch, ni ile ya kujitakia. Because, like I told you before, we have been borrowing and partying with borrowed money. That is why we are where we are. So we must look very carefully at our spending and reduce this spending. Some of the areas that could be in for budget cuts, and I think the government is already taking measures, thanks to my reports, I think in part, I've been reporting where we are spending most. Travel both domestic and international. Then secondly, refurbishments. Yeah, there are many times people are throwing away curtains and bringing in new ones, and a lot of issues like that are very wasteful. Then thirdly, I would be looking at something like the fuel. And here fuel, I'm looking at the kind of vehicles that we buy vis-a-vis the kind of journeys that we make. So look at it in terms of why go to Mombasa if you can go to Naivasha. And I think a concerted effort across the economy can bring a lot of savings in that. Under the PFM expenditure ceilings, we were looking at the current budgets that do not comply with the PFM ceilings. Are they then illegal? Now, I would like to disqualify myself from the illegality in this particular instance, because when we look at national government, we have the sectors, and sectors have leaders, and these things go through public participation. All I can ask is, can these sector leaders do their job? Because if they did their job properly, then we wouldn't be discussing here about illegalities. And circulars are there. I think if they are followed, we should be having the kind of budgets that we expect. Hiring sprees in the counties, which are up to 47. How about the national government in terms of employment? Yes, I've been doing both national and county reports on personnel emolument. So far, the income ratio to the employment has been okay in national government. But watch this space. I'll be reporting on the first quarter. If I find that it has exceeded, you will see it in my reports. Now, going to the counties, let's all appreciate that the counties have a lower income base. So the denominator that they are using to calculate the ratio is much lower. So what are we saying here? The implication is that if the monies to the counties were higher, then probably we would be talking of a lower percentage. If the on-source revenue raised at the counties was higher, it means that the denominator will be higher and therefore the percentage will be lower. So the message I've been giving to the counties is please try to increase your inflows, because if you increase your inflows, then it means you can accommodate more employment. So that same level of employment would be a much lower percentage if the revenues were higher. So that's what I can say. Now, from Madam Catherine, thank you for the compliment. We have suffered a long time from poor forecasting, and this is an area, please, I would ask the committee to talk to the National Treasury on a very serious note. The exaggerations are in the National Treasury, and let me just give one example. When I was doing the budget for consolidated fund services, this is where my salary is paid from. I found out that my salary was budgeted at 3 times what I'm paid. Wow. I am the only state officer in my institution. So there's nothing like confusion there. I'm all alone. So I asked them, why is the budget showing 3 times what my annual salary is? And it was like that for all the state officers.
What was the answer, madam?
Chairman, I have not received the answer to date.
Integrity.
They have not answered me why they budgeted 3 times what I'm supposed to be earning. So now, if that is only my salary, what I'm saying, we don't know what else is dodgy in there. And then when it comes to the supplementary, these amounts are then reallocated to other areas. So, honorable members, I'm asking you to talk to the Treasury in a very matter-of-fact manner to look at the way they are handling the budgeting. I think the problem is there. There is a big problem. Yes. Then let me move to the manual payrolls and what is the role